YouTube. It's Arwen from Tarot by Arwen saying good morning from New Mexico. Bright sunny day. It's cold though. It's about 43 degrees outside. So, for those of you who ask, this lipstick is Stila or Stila. It's Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick. And it's called Beso 10. Beso 10. I know some of y'all ask. And yes, I'm finally going to go get my nails done today. Don't know what color though. May go for a brown. We'll see. Somebody asked Ocean Siren about, and somebody else may have asked too, but I remember Ocean Siren because it was recent, about whether or not you need a Rider Waite deck to study and learn tarot. Yes. I don't think it needs to be your first deck, but I do think you need it as a deck for comparison. Here's why. Looking at the iconic images of the Rider Waite, and they are iconic, guys. They are iconic because they've been with us for quite a while, and we recognize this. We know that's the Fool. You don't need to see it. Things that are iconic about him, the flower, the white flower for purity, the sun is shining on him. What's in the Fool's bag is a good question. Some say just the 78 cards, some say nothing. The little white dog, the cliff. These are all iconic things. So when you look at another deck like Tarot Muha, you can see a lot of the similarities. The flower, the sun, the stick, the dog, the cliff. It will also help you when you look at things like the Chinese tarot. Love this deck. Again, you have the Fool. He has a bag. He has something in his hand. It's not a white flower, but there is no dog here. There is no cliff here, but he is leaving. So you look at these things and you think, okay, what's iconic about this? Other things about him that are iconic? Look at his gesture outfit or his rags and tatters. That's very similar. And then you can get into very unusual decks like Waking the Wild Spirit. This deck is out of print. You can still find it if you look for it. It's by Poppy Palin. And this is the back of her card, Arwen. This is called Wandering Minstrel. We have the sun. We have the backpack. We have the gesture. We have the dog. We have the leaping. So, those Fools, when you compare them to the Rider Waite Fool, give you a sense of a couple of things. What's important, right? Flower, purity. The Fool is pure of heart. The Fool is a learner, a traveler. Many of us say that the Fool is neither beginning nor end of the major arcana. Because it's zero, it wanders through the major arcana, right? And then it comes back and perhaps the Fool steps into the world and the world steps out and becomes a Fool again. That's my theory on it. But hopefully you can see what you're looking for in terms of what you want your Fool to say to you. Optimism, risk, sometimes unthinking. The Fool can be brash, optimistic, even in the face of great danger. The Magician, another iconic, things that you want to look for him. The Lunescate, that's this item, the infinity symbol over his head. He's reaching up, he's reaching down because it's as above, so below. You've heard me talk about this if you've watched my videos. Tools, he needs all the tools. Now he's got the white flower, but the red flower is there too. Because he has moved past the Fool, he's moved into the knowing. So the white and red are in this card. You look at the Muha. No Lunescate on her head, but you do have the red and white. You have the up and down, the as above, so below. You have the tools. This one's very, very similar. It is a female magician. The Muha deck is almost all feminine. There's very few men in it, so many of the majors are feminine. Here is the Chinese magician. Now, he's very different. You've still got the red flowers, but there are no white flowers. But you've got smoke, air, fire, and water in the waves of his jacket. So he's a little different, but the Chinese Tarot is still a Rider Waite clone. When I say Rider Waite clone, I mean a deck that follows the Rider Waite numbering. The Thoth Tarot switches justice and temperance, or justice and art. And here is the Cunning Man, the magician from the Waking the Wild Spirit. Now his hands are a little different. They're not up and down, but he's still got the tools. He's still got all the tools. So you can see how each of these, I put them in this order because they kind of gradually go away from the Rider Waite iconic images. I'm going to keep using that word, y'all. Iconic, iconic, iconic. The next one I picked out was the Hermit. Something important to me in the Hermit is what's in his lamp. That's the star. The star is what the Hermit is searching for. Knowledge, higher education, hope, goals. Snow underneath him. He's always alone in a true Rider Waite clone. Some of the others, you'll see him with others, or with animals, which is fine. Okay? And this is just the Rider Waite, the 1971 edition. Plaid back, real common, easy to get. You can find it probably in used bookstores. You know, keep an eye out at Goodwill. Make sure there's 78 cards. That's a biggie. I have 2 Rider Waite decks that are not complete. So, but that's why I keep them. I keep them around. I'm going to do some decoupage and stuff like that with them. Arwen Tarot. Here's the Muha Hermit. Again, very similar. Star, cold, hooded figure, alone. No staff here. Staff is kind of the guide piece of it. The Chinese. Now see, he has somebody with him, but that's because he's a scholar. And then the Chinese tradition, he should have somebody with him. He does not have a lantern, but look at the staff. The staff has that shape of the star up there, so you can say that that is the star that he's using. The Healer is the Hermit card here. Has a cat, still alone, learning. You know, actually she's not alone. I just realized that. Look there. There's another hand. So she's showing somebody. This can be said to be the star coming in. Got 3 more to show you. Wheel of Fortune. Well, and let's go back to the Hermit. So the Hermit is a seeker, a guide. The Hermit does a lot of study, generally has a nature aspect to them, about getting back to nature. For me at least. Definitely has a study, a learning. I'm grabbing my pentacle. Let's look at the Wheel of Fortune. Rota. You see it? R-O-T-A. A-T-A-R-O-T. Tarot. Demon. Angels. Sphinx. The 4 figures. This is all about chance and all about what comes around and goes around. Okay? The Muha Tarot really diverts from this. It's one of the most that it diverts in terms of its major arcanas. The Windmill, though, is a great Wheel of Fortune. But then she's got the Wreath. She's got the Hourglass, which is in... I thought it was in that one, but perhaps not. Okay. But still you have the Wheel of Fortune and the going round symbol. The Chinese one is really good. It's got the, I believe that's the Bagua map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's not. It's only 8. I don't know what it is. I think the Bagua map is 9. But it has the 4 creatures, the white tiger, the red dragon, the white dragon, or might be the phoenix, and then the turtle. But still going around, lots of swirling in there. The yin-yang in the center. And then we get to the Waking the Wild Spirit. This is the Dance of Life. Those angels can represent the 4 going around. Web of Fate. people dancing around the tree of life. So there's still circular motion, right? Circular. So this is why I do think you need to have, I've got 3 more. Did I say I had 4 more? Lied. But this is, again, why the Rider Waite can be a very important deck to own in order to do this comparative study. Comparative Tarot is there used to be a list, I don't know if it's still out there, but it was called Comparative Tarot. Valerie Sims, I believe, ran it. Teresa Michelson took over it. I think I have that right. But it was very, very fun because you would do, you know, a card and then compare whatever you had to it. And we did all of them, all 78. So I'm not on that list anymore. Maybe I should go look and see if it's still up. Like I need something else to take up my time. Blah. Now we're going to look at death. White rose, skeleton, armor, horse. Sun in the background. Is it going up or coming down? The Pope pleading. There's a woman, a child, a king. Indicating that nobody is safe from death. Way back in the background there's a ship. Indicating the journey we all take. Muha, very traditional. The sun coming up there. The river, there's no boat. The reaper, the bodies. There's nobody pleading for their life. Well, yes, there is. I'm sorry. Look right there. In this corner. There sits the Pope. Now, the Chinese death is a little spooky. But look, you've got the sun, right? Now, though, it's not the sun, Arwen. Those are demon faces, I think. Pleading for the life, though, in the river, in the water, the streams of air. So, you still have that. Now, let's go to Waking the Wild Spirit, who takes a diverse change. They go off this way, and I like it. Rebirth. Spirit of change. Now, you got the bones. You got the black and white, which I like. And then look here. The wizard and the child. And the bunny in the hat. Are they coming in or going out? It's a good question to ask when you see death. What's coming in? What's going out? I keep saying I have 3 left, y'all, and I am just... Now I have 3 left. Oh, and they're out of order. They are out of order. Okay, let me go here. Get them back in order. Next, we go to the Devil. The Devil is card 15. Again, see the reverse pentagram? Now let me holler out. In Wicca, in certain traditions, this is for first degree and third degree, and second degrees, reverse them. You will see some pentagrams with a loop here and a loop here just for that purpose. So don't assume reverse pentagram means Satanism. Don't assume Satanism means something terrible, terrible, terrible. Satanism means, in the truest sense that I understand it, power over others. Well, which, and to me, is a bad thing, right? It's not something I want, so it would be bad for me to do it. Is it bad for someone else? But, so just remember, I'm babbling. The Devil, 2 people chained. They have tails. That's important. Fire and grapes. Chained to the Devil. Okay, so important pieces to think about. Now here we go again. Muha, female devil. She has wings. She has a tail. She has them sitting in her hands. They are chained. She has a tail of her own. That's snake. And the cloven hoof she has. So, very Christian devil. The Rider Waite is just a Christian deck. It's a very Christian imagery. The tarot itself was created in a Christian sense. My acceptance of tarot history is that tarot really became popular. The Visconti Sforza deck, back from the 1500s, I think, is one of the first tarot decks that I accept as being old. I don't think it goes back to Atlantis or Mew. So I do think that playing cards kind of merged in, and there was some crossover. And the Romany mostly read with playing cards, as I understand it, the Gypsies. And then the tarot kind of took over. So, digressing. The Chinese devil. Two, a horse-headed demon, a horse-headed human, a bull-headed human. They have horse feet, and they're not humans. They are demons. So they're looking for people to change. That's why they've got these chains there. Okay? So chains are important pieces of this. Now, again, diverging from the devil is the fiddler. Wild spirit. A kinder version of the devil, but, you know, pay the fiddler, dance to the fiddler, let the fiddler lead. That still gives you that being enslaved by someone else. The two birds up here, a magpie and a crow. Star, my favorite card in the deck. Big, beautiful star, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little white stars. See the bird on the tree? Just pouring water into one, pouring water onto the parched land. All the little flowers. Muha. Star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bird in the tree. Now, she is not pouring water, but there is water in front of her. Water indicates the intuitive self, the subconscious. Here goes the star and the Chinese. The storks. A very different star, right? This one doesn't really have much going for it in terms of the other stars, except for the birds in some sense. Oh, those are cranes, I believe. But this is a scholar. I believe this may be Confucius. I'm not positive, but I think that's who it's supposed to be in this deck. Looking to see if I can grab my books. Let's see how fast I can get to it. Testing, testing. It unfolds. The star depicts the god of longevity, an old man who is represented by the star Canopus in the constellation Carina. He holds the peaches of the miraculous tree that blossoms only once every 3,000 years, accompanied by a stag. Cranes are an emblem of longevity. So, that's their take on the star. You'll notice my face is like, I'm a little different on that. Here we go to the source. That's the star and the waking the wild spirit. She's pregnant. There are birds here. Connection. Very different star. Very different interpretation. I would be hard-pressed to keep this with the star, except for the moon and her pointing to the star. She's still pointing up. So I still get that look up feeling. The last is the world. I'm only doing the major arcana in this video. The world, like the Wheel of Fortune. Notice the similarities. All the creatures, the four, the wheel, okay, naked, wrapped with a lavender scarf. She's got 2 scrolls in her hand, or 2 wands. Red at the top, red at the bottom. Muha. Just about identical, right? Not red at the bottom and no scrolls in her hand. So, the universe in the Chinese, I'm almost positive that's Kuan Yin. I'll look it up. She's pouring water out. She has a willow branch in one. She's standing on a lotus. Might not be Kuan Yin. She looks like an older woman there, but I'll look that up later. The Reaper, Wild Harvest. Look at the 4 colors behind her. You see that? She's stepping over across a scythe. You see that's the scythe there? The belly, the circle, the spiral labyrinth. Interesting in terms of how each of these decks still carries over some of the Rider Waite and some don't. Like the Waking the Wild Spirit, it kind of takes off on its own, shall we say, wild way. But that is why that, yes, I think you can start with any deck. Any deck. Whatever speaks to you. Whatever you tell the story with. Right? If this deck speaks to you, and you see this as a magician who brings life, and someone who takes life away, and those aren't the traditional meanings, that's okay. You're the conduit. For me, it's the universe speaking through me and coming out my mouth. I tell my clients that they need to say my name when I start reading, because sometimes I go blah, 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 and just kind of fire hose people. It's one of the reasons I prefer doing Skype, because then I can record them and put them back up for you, and you can see them again, and they're private. You can't see the private readings I've done for people, but it helps you go back and review it, particularly if you're doing the 3-month or the 6-month readings, right? So, yes, start with any deck, but also, yes, Ocean Siren. Hi, honey. Do grab a Rider Waite for comparison. And as always, let your story be told through the cards. You know, you don't need the book per se. The books can be very helpful to understand how the artist and author want you to see the cards. I just turned in the book work for the fairy tale Lenormand. Lisa Hunt is my artist partner and writing partner. She was very helpful on writing the book. And she's turned in all the artwork, so it will be out next year. We just don't know when. I'll tell you when it's in production and all that. You know all the crow about it. But do trust your ability to tell the story the cards tell you. I have a free book. All you have to do is join my newsletter. Go to tarotbyarwen.com, click on newsletter, or learn the tarot. It's a little square with purple border around it. I'm going to change it someday. But, and you don't have to stay on the newsletter if you don't want to. The newsletter comes out once a week. I highlight other people's stuff. I try to highlight other channels. I highlighted Lady Jane. Who else? I highlighted 3 people. No, I can't remember. I'm sorry, guys. But enjoy working with the tarot. That's big. Don't get so caught up in the need to be right. You're going to be wrong. It's going to happen. Put the cards away. It's one of the reasons I have so many decks. If I read with one deck and it feels like, fine, I grab another deck. And it's why I read with different decks for the tarot scopes. I want y'all to see the art, the amazing variety that's out there. I may do a Lenormand tarot scope one week. We'll see. I may wait till I get the fairy tale in my hand to do that, but I've got some great Lenormand decks to play with. So, seek joy, y'all. Pass it on. I'm Arwen of Tarot by Arwen, and I'm here to do readings for you if you like. I love working with people, and like I said, it'll be you and me on a Skype video. Then I upload it here to YouTube so that you can review it as often as you want. Take care, y'all, and have a great holiday. I may not be online as much during the holidays coming up because I'm going to be traveling next week, but we'll see if I can get some videos scheduled for you. I know I've got to do the 3s soon, too.